Well, I never thought I'd be doing a video on Tekken, but it's something I'm very passionate about, so I mean, here we are. But let's get straight to the point. The reason I'm making this video is I'm going to prove to you and everyone that tier lists are worthless. They mean absolutely nothing in Tekken, and I'm going to prove it to you. On top of that, I'm going to show you how and explain to you why this whole nerf buff system thing that's going on about characters is extremely dangerous for Tekken's future. But let's just jump right into it. And we're going to start with the legend himself. At the end of season 2 at EVO, like a month ago, King Jae, awesome by the way, Knee, awesome again, the legend, had the interview, and this is kind of what started a little bit of a controversy where King Jae asked Knee what his top 5 viable characters were for tournaments. Actually, here it is, and I'll let you see it for yourself.
Makes sense. So, who would you say top 5 characters for tournament play in Tekken 7 right now, season 2? Who would you say top 5?
Keith and Kazumi, Steve, and Jin, and Akuma. Because Akuma is a one chance high damage.
So here we are. This is Knee's top 5 at the end of season 2 for most viable people in a tournament. Now again, remember, this is Knee's opinion. King Jae asked him a question and Knee was gracious enough to answer with his best answer. So he's got Kazumi, Jin, Akuma, Steve, and Geese. These are his top 5, right? So interestingly enough, is at that same weekend when he had that EVO, Knee makes it to the grand finals at EVO against Arslan Ash. So when he makes it to the grand finals with his top 5 character picks, so which one of these 5s did Knee choose to face the opponent he's never beaten in a tournament? So Knee doesn't pick, I mean, this was his opinion of these top 5 characters, but he doesn't pick these top 5 characters. He picks Kazuya and Devil Jin. And Kazuya, considering to be a lower Mishima, which I'm going to disprove that too. We'll get to that later. But Kazuya and Devil Jin. And oddly enough, he did, I mean, for somebody who's never beat, he did pretty good against Arslan Ash with Kazuya Mishima, which was interesting because at Arslan Ash's introduction into the Tekken World Tour at EVO Japan, Boava beat Arslan Ash with Kazuya also. But, I mean, nobody actually saw the match, but lore has it that he didn't just beat him. He beat the shit out of him. So Knee does really well against Arslan Ash with Kazuya, and Boava beats the shit out of him with Kazuya, and that's none of the people that he put on his top 5 people for tournament use, which is interesting. Another interesting fact is what Knee actually says about Brian Fury, because everybody wants to know about his Brian Fury. So King Jae asked him. This is what he says.
With Brian Fury in Tekken 7, do you think he's difficult in tournament?
Yes.
Okay. Why is that?
Tekken 7 is in tournament. Tournament character is example Steve, Kazumi, Keith, yeah, Jin, Low, Shaheen, yeah, any characters is low risk and high return and safe play, safe poking. But Brian is main skill is slowly. Yeah, maybe 16 frame and 23 frame.
Right.
Yeah, so always counter the two match in tournament. Two match is one mistake is lose. So I think long match is good, right? Two and three match is difficult.
So Knee doesn't think that Brian should be in these top 5, or that he's viable, and other characters are viable in tournaments. But what was interesting about this very tournament, what happened a week before this interview? Wasn't Arson Ash beat by Jimmy J using who? Brian Fury, right?
Does have a huge lead. Oh yes! Not anymore. Oh! That is so good!
What a set! I'm not drinking no bathwater. Let's go, Jimmy!
Very nice. Anakin, and now Jimmy J. Tran. USA! USA! Nice! Nice!
So let me get this straight. Knee picks these top 5, doesn't use one of them against Arson Ash in the grand finals, and the person that he doesn't think viable, his old name, beats Arson Ash a week before.
Fair champion! Oh, he got him! It's not over. 15 seconds. Oh, he hit!
Heaven's Gate
The
follow-up.
other
No!
side!
Be careful. One more. He can end it here.
Q-dance!
Oh,
Tsunami
the punish!
kick! We have an animal of a champion here. Oh, are they gonna kiss?
Maybe,
Wow,
but-
it looked like they were about to kiss.
First on Esports round 2.
Oh, nice work.
Our Tekken World
Nice
Tour
work.
champion.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah. Does he have a nosebleed?
Man,
he got so
congratulations.
excited.
I got to give it up.
Wow, amazing work by Forsan Rangchu. I mean, no one would have guessed that he would be able to pull through here with that character against these opponents. He already snatched his trophy.
Yeah, man.
Give me that shit.
Interesting. But let's look deeper into this. And I'm going to show you that Tekken has absolutely nothing to do with the characters. And these 3 right here are the ones that are going to show it, of why it has nothing to do with the characters. It has everything to do with the players. Because in Season 2, from the beginning of Season 2, none of these characters have changed. Not one of them has changed. And interestingly enough, at the beginning of Season 2, these 3 were not on anybody's top 5 list. So what happened? She was actually dropped from the top tier when she was nerfed in Season 2. He was never there. Devil Jim was in his place, and nobody had Akuma up there. So what changed with these characters? Well, everybody knows why Kazumi's up there. Because Arson Ash comes out of nowhere and beats the ever-living shit out of everybody using the techniques that he discovered, the techniques that he learned. And everybody sees what he's doing and showing how viable she was after everybody dropped her after her nerf in Season 2. And they start copying her styles. I mean, his style using her. Because it works. Now, Arson Ash is the one who figured out how to do that. And he's the mastermind behind it. So everybody starts using her again, copying his style and how good he is. Arson Ash, because of Arson Ash, she goes up to the top. Jin Kazama, this one's really interesting because Jin, since the beginning of Tekken 6, really hasn't changed at all. At the beginning of Tekken 6, that came out over 10 years ago. The only thing that really they added to him when he came from tag to 7 is his electric finally juggles, which I always thought was bullshit. Which I think he should have been able to juggle off of it since Tekken 4. But whatever. All they did was added that to him, and his and in season 2, they didn't really give him much of anything. In season 2, all the new stuff they gave him, he already had options for that. The only thing they really did is his Magic 4, which everybody was already juggling with. It was just inconsistent and harder. They just made it easier. So he hasn't changed in 10 years. And he's never been in the top 5. And it's interesting enough that he's only made it there in the last couple months. And what makes it even more interesting is people have only won a tournament with him like what? You count on one hand like 3 times? Like last year when Book beat Knee using Jin, I mean, Knee didn't hand it to him. Actually, Knee beat the shit out of him and sent him to loser. Book had to come back, reset the bracket, and beat him legitly. Outplayed him, and everybody saw it. Well, everybody just threw that away and knew that Book actually just outplayed him. What happened in the next tournament? Knee picks Jin against John Ding and wins the next tournament. But even when he picked him, nobody understood why he picked Jin Kazama. They were even questioning it, like, why is he doing it? You could go and you could see it for yourself right here.
Knee has his name on his back. I don't understand. Oh, man. All right, let's see. What are we going to get? Oh, is that Kazuya? Jin Kazama?
Jin Kazama for
Really?
me? What?
Okay, surprise pick from Knee. I did not expect that from him, but he's pulling out the Jin.
Every time we see this, we always wonder, what is Knee's thought process here, right? Why Jin against Eddie?
He really likes to break it down. He always has a reason for the
Give me one thing.
Well, I hope we see it.
Give me one thing.
I don't know.
There's got to be something. You got to be able to think of something.
He has a cool hoodie on.
Against Eddie?
Yeah.
Eddie's got those white pants.
All right, man. You're on your own with that one.
So, with a character that hasn't changed in a decade at all, how does he make it here? I'll tell you why. It's because of Cherry Berry Mango. Now, Cherry Berry Mango last year really wasn't much into the Tekken World Tour. Why? Because the dude was in college and he's unsponsored. So he was in maybe like 1, maybe 2 tournaments last year. This year, he's not in college and he's doing more Tekken things. And the dude's badass. So he comes on the scene and starts having a lot of success with him. And the interesting thing about Jin is an extremely popular character. Bandai Namco, you don't have to take my word for it. It's in your stats.
So I do want to go over these statistics. So it's PC and PS4, every single character. At the top we see the characters that are played the most, and in the bottom the characters that are played the least. Of course, it's very logical. And also very interesting, I thought, most of the characters in the top: Paul, Kazuya, King, Law, Jin, Brian, Dragunov, Hwoarang, Steve.
So you got a very popular character, no matter what his tier list is, and Cherry Berry Mango comes on the scene and starts using him effectively. So everybody starts copying his styles, and like he likes to do a lot of forward forward, but he wasn't the only one doing it. Hal was doing it in the last installment. So Cherry Berry Mango comes on, and the thing about Cherry Berry Mango is that dude, everybody knows he is good enough that any tournament he enters, he has the skill to win any and every tournament. He hasn't done it yet, but he has the skill to do it. We've seen him beat Knee. We've seen him beat Q-Dons. We've seen him beat every single one of the top players. He has the skill to beat anybody and win any tournament he enters. He just hasn't done it yet. So because of Cherry Berry Mango and everybody seeing what he's doing and copying his style, hell, I don't even copy his style because the dude's 1,000 times better than me, puts Jin at the top. Super Akuma, that's a no-brainer. The reason Cherry Berry Mango has not won a tournament is because of Super Akuma. Super Akuma made Kuma viable. Brings him to the top. Knee, it's Steve. Geese Howard is Dick Jab. Now, I couldn't help myself. But, I mean, no disrespect to anybody's won a tournament. It's hard to win a tournament in Tekken, but it is pretty obvious there is something a little bit broken with him because he is not a popular character and you only see him in tournaments. No disrespect to the real Geese players, but I mean, I have to be honest, like, when a nerf is called for a certain move, like Dragunov's down 2 in from season 1 to season 2, that was a legit nerf. I mean, that was spammable and stuff like that. Nah, whatever. But Arslan Ash, Cherry Berry Mango, Super Akuma, Knee, Dick Jab. These are the top 5. So the thing about this is people they don't even realize that they're not trying to nerf characters. They're trying to nerf players. And that shit's bullshit. Now let's dig into it a little bit deeper. And there's only 2 legacy characters on this list. These 2. But we're going to look into this a little bit deeper and show the hypocrisy and why this is stupid, hypocritical, and dangerous for Tekken. And we're going to do it with Jin, the legacy character, because 1, I know this character more, and he has a huge comparison with the Mishimas. Now watch this. So here we are. We're going to look at Jin, and but let's just cut to the chase. The nerf for Jin screams and cries. Everybody knows who was the one crying the most to get Jin nerfed, screaming it to the top of his lungs. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's just go to it. The main man Sui is the one who has this opinion that this guy needed to be nerfed, even though this dude hasn't changed in a decade at all. He's the one. Let's just look at what he's saying.
Jin is too versatile and perfect right now. Forward 4 and standing 4 alone cover 36 different options, and then he has an abundance of other just 10 out of 10 moves. He is just too perfect. He needs a nerf. Maybe not nerf forward 4, even though I would like to see that be unsafe, at least considering the range. But standing 4 counter hit has to be removed. Down 4 should be made more unsafe again, in my opinion. That's where you can start to make him more interesting again, because honestly, with these 2 characters, it's like how much do you feel it's a player's accomplishment when they win with those characters?
What's up, everybody on YouTube? Main Man Sui here, coming at you with another amazing video. And today we're gonna talk about Jin Kazama in Season 3, who has received quite a number of substantial nerfs. I've been screaming for nerfs a long time. Very strong in Season 1, perfect in Season 2. You probably remember standing 4 and forward 4, down back 4, up forward 2, forward 4-2, well, I mean, yeah, you name it, you know, it's all here. It's all here, you know, it's too much to count the amazing moves of Jin. But now, so, yeah, it seems like the developers heard us all, or heard one particular individual. Hello, Jin players. No, just kidding, that was a joke. No ill feelings towards you guys. Nah, that was also a joke.
Interesting points. But instead of me defending Jin, I think I'm just going to have the main man Sui defend Jin against the main man Sui, because within the last year he's made, I think it's in the last year or so, he's made 2 different videos talking about why Jin Kazama is so difficult to use. So let's see what he had to say before he was screaming for nerfs.
Okay. So, a lot of people feel Jin is like a Mishima, and somewhat. I'm just going to say very quickly that he is very difficult. Like, with a Mishima, you know, the overall game plan with Kazuya, what you see before, is very slow compared to the health speed. And it's just as punishable on block. So his 50-50 here is slower. And his CD1 is a fast mid launcher, but it's minus 12, I think. So it's not safe, it's punishable. And this is compared to, for example, Kazuya's 4-4-3, which is safe. But Jin also has the 4-4-3 if you want to go with a safe mid option from the wave dash. But look at this range. And this compared to Kazuya's 4-4-3, that was insane range. And it's also worth pointing out that this move is like 2 frames or 3 frames slower than Kazuya's 4-4-3.
So this doesn't have good range.
So already here, his 50-50 is strong and very viable, but you can't really compare to a Mishima 50-50.
Interesting.
And this is because he had to be balanced here because he has strong Pokemon.
Okay.
So Jin is a lot about just doing 2-1.
Alright, what's up guys? Main man Sui here, the master of Jin. Well, okay, not really. Cherryberry Mango is the god of Jin, in my opinion. And hopefully I'll get an interview with him very soon. He's very interested in doing it.
That probably won't happen.
Contacted him on Twitter, and it's most likely going to happen. So that's going to be awesome. So you'll see me talk to the Jin god himself. But someone in the chat, and there's quite a lot to this, but I'm gonna try and it comes up a lot in YouTube comments and on Discord. And there's quite a lot to this, but I'm gonna try and take it step by step. But overall, Jin is a very strong character, but he's very all-round. He has quite a large move list. And the thing with Jin is, he resembles Fengwei a lot in this way, in my opinion. It's that he just has a lot of really good moves. And you have to learn to utilize all of those moves if you want to be good with Jin. And you have to know how to use all of those moves, when and how. And that's just where he becomes so difficult. Kazuya...
Okay, I'm not going to go through this whole videos. I will link those 2 videos in the descriptions. Anybody who wants to watch them can watch them. It's really interesting. But why did somebody go from making those kind of videos, knowing the weaknesses of Jin and what makes him balance, to screaming for nerfs for him? I mean, dude, what changed? Interestingly enough, what was in between those 2 things was Evo. And this is fucked up. I didn't want to bring this up, but I mean, it is what it is. Main man goes to Evo, and he lost twice. One is to a Eddie player, which he posted, and the other was a Jin player. And this was not posted on his channel. So, first round. Main man beats the shit out of him. Second round. Main man's on match point. All he has to do is win 1 more round. Match is over. What happens? This Jin player. Uh-oh. Want another round. Uh-oh. Want another round. Uh-oh. Won the match. Pretty close. Damn, bro. So, main man goes to Evo, loses to a Jin, doesn't show it, doesn't post it, and it seems immediately after that, that's when all the Jin nerf screaming started. You ain't gotta take my word for it. All you gotta do is look it up. And that is fucked up because, one, he doesn't understand Jin at all. And I'm going to show the hypocrisy of asking for a nerf of Jin using Kazuya. So let's jump into that right quick. Alright, before we get into these nerfs of Jin, I want to go over a little story time, something about myself, because there's a, and actually this is relevant, there is a lot of similarities between me and Adrian. That's the main man, by the way. That's his first name. Sometimes I call him that. I like calling people by their names more than their usernames. But there is a lot of similarities between me and Adrian. And there are some differences, and the differences are huge. But the similarities. I've been playing Tekken just like him since part 1. And also, like him, I've been playing with my brother since part 1. Me and my brother are 13 months apart. So we're about the same age. And it kind of gave us an unfair advantage over all our friends always having that constant competition. The verse in the Bible says, as steel sharpens steel, one man sharpens another man. So what we would do is we'd just keep making each other better and better. And one time I remember in Tekken 2, we were just going at it all quiet like, and I was like, Eli, we need to stop. Look at the score. And we had played 100 games, and it was 50 wins to 50 wins. That's how close we were and how even it was when we were going at each other. But there's the similarities. And here's the two differences. And they may seem minor at first, but it is huge. Okay. This has been my main since part 1. Kazuya Mishima has been my main since the game came out, and I got it on release date. Adrian did not pick him up until tag 1, I'm pretty sure. But he has not main Kazuya since the beginning, which answered a question for me, because I always was wondering, why would a Kazuya player hate on Jin so much? It doesn't make any sense until I found that out. Because I've main Kazuya, 1, I look at him differently, and 2, I love Jin. And if he had been playing Kazuya since part 1, he would love Jin too, because in part 3, there was no Kazuya. It was only Jin. Jin was Kazuya's replacement, and of course I'm going to pick him up. I mean, it's Kazuya's son. He looks like Kazuya. He has a tattoo on his arm. The dude's fucking badass. He has all Kazuya's moves and more. And when I got Kazuya back, I lost nothing because I got him back in tag. So who do you think my tag team was? And I have mained these two ever since part 1. And me maining him from part 1 and also maining Jin has me looking at Kazuya as a more well-rounded character than the main man does. The main man doesn't understand Jin, and so he uses him like a combo guy does, because he's a combo guy. That's how he became popular. He looks at him over one move, the electric and the vortex. But if he understood Jin, he knows that he could use the Jin properties, because these characters are so similar. The main man doesn't use his tools that are a lot like Jin's, and I'm going to show that. That's why he was also lying when he was asking for Jin nerfs, because what he said is his character was perfect, which is bullshit, because for years he's been talking about the weaknesses of Kazuya, but he doesn't even use Kazuya to his full capacity, because he looks at him like a combo guy. We're going to go over this. So, okay, so for example, let's start off. Oops. Mistake. Jin's first nerf. That used to juggle, right? On counter hit. I've been using this move for years with Kazuya. Main man doesn't use it. Chocobo uses him. Bova uses this move. It's a great move because it crushes high, and on counter hit, it does a full launcher. I don't know why Adrian uses it. I mean, you can punish it, but it crushes high. You have to use it in the right situation. Another thing that is completely wrong, and I want to get this out while I'm thinking about it, is constantly saying that Kazuya is a defensive character. I have never, in 24 years, ever played him as a defensive character. I play him very aggressively, and the best Kazuya players in the world, like Bova and Chocobo, watch them. They play him aggressively, and they use all his tools. The thing about Kazuya is, and this is a tip for Kazuya players, you've heard this for 20 some odd years, so people have become desensitized to it. So how do you make Kazuya aggressive is, and I want you to hear this again and let it sink in. His hell sweep is unseeable. That, the human eye can't see it. Even Arslan Ash, he physically cannot see that coming. There's only two reasons that hell sweep gets blocked. They guessed right, or they predicted you would do it. That's unseeable. All you have to do is hit an opponent 1 or 2 times, and then they'll start thinking about ducking. And he has the fastest wall launcher mid in the game. You don't even need. I mean, start thinking about the mind games of that. So yes, I play, and the best players in the world play this character extremely aggressively, and you can, because you can dictate the match, and also he punishes like a fucking freight train. So they nerf his low that launches on counter hit, and he already had one that launches on counter hit, correct? But you know, he's not the only one being hypocritical in this whole fucking nerfing thing. I mean, check this out.
Talk about nerfs. All right, down back 4. All right, Jin Kazama. Gotta play Tekken now. Can't get all your life missing from a counter hit low at range 2. Oh boy, yeah, this is great to see my enemies nerfed in the worst way. Dr. Young, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Really, Lil Majin? He has to start playing Tekken now, right? And wasn't that buff so you could get a higher hit and juggle? Dude. Okay, so next we got his forward 4 getting nerfed. No, actually, his forward 4. A safe, long range mid that only on counter hit launches. Now, he's also had this technique for a decade. Remember, he's had this for a decade. Long range, mid, only on counter hit, it combos. You can also sidestep it, and look, does not hit grounded. Oh, by the way, just for Jin players, a good solution is forward, you could go into Zen, and when you're in Zen, you hit diagonal, and it'll do a wave dash. Oops. Damn it. That'll hit every time, every character. It's just a guaranteed 65 damage. All you have to do is go into Zen and wave dash. He'll cover the distance, even if it's at max range, and all characters like Jackson Bears. That's just a little tip. I do it because it's easy. If you want better options, go check out the video that Cherryberry Manga posted like a week ago. But, okay, so we got this into a combo. Okay, Kazuya. Oops. Kazuya. Safe mid. You don't have to commit to anything. And on counter hit, full juggle. And actually, he has 2 of them. Now, for some reason, this is like the main man staple and a lot of Kazuya players staple. Oops. Alright, that's their staple. 50 damage, long range safe mid, on hit does 50 damage, on counter hit does 54. But this is my staple. Regular hit does 56 damage. On counter hit, that does 60 damage. So he has 2 safe, long-range, mid-launchers that on counter hit do 60 or above damage. But let's nerf forward 4 that's been a staple for him. And Devil Jin has had this. And Kazuya has had this. And he's had this the entire time he's had in 7. You can actually use the same techniques that you do with Jin for long range keep out and to keep it checked. Oh, and one more thing. This one hits grounded. But let's nerf him. Right? I mean, another unused... Oops. Another unused great move of Kazuya's that all the good Kazuya players use that Main Man doesn't use is that one. Very evasive, and on counter hit, you get full juggle. I've been using this. It's good when people are doing pressure. It's evasive, and you can punish it, but you got to know the situations. It's good for a round starter when you know they're going to do something. And since... Oops. For a combo guy, he focuses on this and the Vortex. And let me tell you something. The Vortex actually hurts the Hell Sweep game. Why? Because that's unseeable, right? But when somebody starts going into Wave Dash, the other person automatically starts thinking, hey, a Hell Sweep might come, so they start guessing when to duck. But a standing Hell Sweep is unseeable. That's why Q-Dance usually doesn't do a Wave Dash into a Hell Sweep. He just does a standing Hell Sweep. And he catches the best players in the world all the time with this Hell Sweep, which now goes into his 50-50 mix-up. And his electric is useless in that. You don't even need to focus on the electric because the electric is a fucking high. And I mean, the electric's a great move, but I don't focus my entire fucking game on it. And sometimes I barely even use it. I mean, Knee beat Rangchu, the world champion, using Kazuya and didn't do one electric. Not one. And he beat the world champion this year using this guy. When he faced Arslan Ash. You know how many electrics he did in that entire time he used Kazuya? 3. He didn't do one in the first time they fought. The second time he did one, it connected, and he won the round because he took like almost all his life. And then in the third round, he only did 2 that he whipped. That's it. You can use this character completely different, not focusing if you're... The mindset of a combo guy is around the electric and the vortex. You don't need that shit. You can play him more well-rounded. And actually, I remember, this was a couple years ago, I was watching, and somebody could probably find this, but the main man, it was in Tekken Tag 2. Main man was, he faced another Kazuya, which I thought was interesting. And the dude did not have, he didn't have the execution that the main man did. But what he did have is he had better fundamentals. I don't even think he threw an electric. Main man just spamming electrics. And the guy destroyed him. And they were both using Kazuya. All he did is he kept ducking main man's electric and launch punishing him. And he fucking wiped the floor with him. And Adrian didn't even get pissed off because he knew. He even said, he was like, damn, that dude did what he was supposed to against me, and I need to stop doing that. But the focus on just the Mishima style and stuff like that, and not understanding him, but is retarded, because if you understand him, your Kazuya game will be better, and having a good Kazuya will make your Jin game better. I mean, they're vice versa. They're so similarly close, and it is ridiculous and hypocritical to go after nerfs for him when he has basically the same moves, and his forward 4 is, what, almost better than his? Don't take my word for it. You guys can go fucking try it yourselves. Try it. Use it. I use it. It's very useful. And here's another thing. One more story time, and I want to add this before I forget it, because this is humongous, and we're going to get back to this. The other huge difference between me and Adrian is I have been blessed to have never, ever had to play online. I have never had to play Tekken online. Because in Tag 1, when me and my brother were playing, we found out that Tekken is it's the fight club of my town. We found a lot of guys at the arcades and video game stores. A lot of people play Tekken. and we played them, and we didn't realize how good we were becoming. We started beating the shit out of everybody. So what happened is everybody wanted to test themselves, and it was just a big Tekken thing, and we started having these huge like get-togethers at my brother's house, like big old cookouts of like 10 to 20 Tekken players deep in the whole town, and we started doing that on a regular basis. Bring their girlfriends, their wives, their kids. And it was just a reason for everybody to get together. And it was like not tournament. It just two people played, and when somebody wanted to play, they said we'll get next, and we've been doing that. Now, that went on for years at my brother's house. In Tekken 6, it moved to my house, and now it's my apartment. But ever since it moved to my house, we've been doing it once a week, every week. And we did it last week. We'll do it this week. But we've been doing that, and I've never had to play online. People in my town only play online to practice for Tekken night. And that is huge, because when you're dealing with somebody who only sits at home and plays online and gets popular through things like combos, that's Tekken to him. It's based around an electric, and all he sees is characters, and it's easy to talk shit when all you're doing is looking at a screen and you're complaining about characters. But it's hard to complain about a character when the dude who's actually fighting you is sitting right beside you. And then you realize the dude ain't brain dead. You understand why he picks his character, likes his character. Y'all can converse, and then you start realizing you actually like the dude. And that kind of happened to the main man when he went to Evo. He actually was around Tekken players and found out, hey, these guys are cool. And that is huge, because it changes the entire mentality. But that's an important story that we'll come back to in just a little bit. Oops. Kazuya has all the tools. These guys are so similar. Now, he's stronger on his pokes and weaker on his Mishima style. He's stronger on his Mishima style and weaker on his pokes. But he has the same tools. They have the same tools. You could play them similarly. If you know Jin, you can use the same techniques with Kazuya. It is so fucking hypocritical for somebody who's playing this guy to scream nerfs for him when he doesn't even understand how to do this, because it's all in fundamentals. Hello? I mean... Okay, so now I want to explain why this can be so damaging to Tekken, and because I don't want history to repeat itself, because I have a story of something like this that happened. All right, when we started having those big get-togethers, starting in Tag 1 at my brother's house, with all these players, there's this one guy in particular. When we first met him, we beat the shit out of him. And he had this look on his face like everybody does the first time. They can't believe it happened to him, because they thought they were like gamers and stuff. They're like... But then what he did is he went and he dedicated himself to getting better. And he did really fast. And he actually became really good. And back then, me and my brother had two completely different fighting styles. He was more poke heavy and pressure heavy, and mine was more mind games, 50-50s, and waiting for openings, and punishing for big damage. Of course, my game style both of our game styles have improved a lot more since then. But he took on my brother's fighting style more, with more poke heavy and pressure heavy. And but what he did next is really fucked up. Now, remember, this is before the internet, before Tekken was really popular and stuff like that. So all we had was each other, where we were all learning off each other, making up our own combos and stuff like that. But what he started doing is he started going around and he started saying that lows and throws were cheap. And then he started labeling people who use those moves cheap. I'm not kidding. So I am playing with a ton of Tekken players who are now thinking and saying that lows and throws are cheap. Wrap your head around that. I wish I was joking. I was already beating them before, and then start thinking about that. Of course, me, I don't give a fuck, because I don't fucking care if anybody likes me or not. I never have, I never will. So I continue my fighting style, and then I start getting labeled by him and everybody cheap. I mean, saying things, and like literally, these guys would go up, do a move, accidentally hit 2 buttons, and throw each other, and apologize, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I'm doing it. If you're blocking everything, I'm gonna fucking throw you doing unblockable. If you're standing, I'm gonna hit you with low. If you're ducking, I'm gonna hit you with medium. And this guy was such a fucking tool. I loved throwing him, because what he would do when he got thrown is he'd get so pissed off that he'd try to spam the throws on the person who threw him. But I would just throw him, knew he was going to do it, I'd duck it and launch him. The look on his face was priceless. But what he was doing, and nobody realized this, is what he did is he developed his own fighting style that he got down and he tried to perfect, and he got it down. And then what he was doing, and nobody realized what he was doing, is he was calling lows and throws cheap. But what he's trying to do is he was dragging everybody down and manipulating everybody to try to fight in his style. And they believed him, except for me, because I don't give a fuck. And I beat the shit out of him because he couldn't beat them in his style. So he tried to drag them down to play and force them to play the way he wanted them to play. So he could beat them at his game, because he couldn't beat them at their game. He was never able to beat me. But thank goodness I can make this long story short. And it's been years since that, it's been almost, 2 decades since that happened. So I can tell you eventually what happened to this guy. The dude's exiled. Because what you practice is what you become. Because he wasn't only like that with Tekken, he was like that with the decisions in his life. And he's just a fucking piece of shit. And, I mean, me and my friends are dickheads, but this dude was a fucking piece of shit. And he's exiled. Nobody has contact with him. He's the butt end of fucking jokes. He's trash, and we look at him like trash. And he is begged to come back and play Tekken with the group, and he's done it over the years. And we've just been like, dude, fuck you, man. Nobody wants it. And it wasn't just Tekken. It was just so many things, but that was his character. That's what he practiced, that he was doing. And this is also happening on a much bigger scale right now, because you got somebody who's sitting at home, thinks Tekken is one way, calling other people who play certain ways trash and brain dead, and trying to manipulate the game to do it his style and his way. Now,
I do it intentionally to identify the little bitches in the chat room who can't fucking tolerate other people having fun the way they like to have fun, and they try to be controlling. You know, I figure maybe if I point it out, they'll realize that it's gonna affect the way people want to have relationships with them. You know, normally people don't like it when you're a controlling little bitch and you try and force them to play things the way you like to play them. That's probably the reason why a lot of people don't like you, including your parents.
I think this is garbage. This is dangerous, because what happened in the long run is he actually hurt those Tekken players for a long time. Like, it went on for years. And even when the game moved to my house, I was trying to explain to the guys why they were losing so much, and Damn, why do I keep fucking burping every time the camera's on? But, I was trying to explain to the guys why they were losing, how to do it, but they wouldn't listen to me because I was labeled as cheap. It wasn't until the internet and people like Aris and The Real Menace, and they started watching them, and they started thinking, oh shit, the entire fucking world's been doing this, and we've been duped by this moron. So now they break throws, they block my lows, they're doing lows themselves, and their game has come. But the years of damage they did because of this fucking tool manipulating to try to get him to do it his way was bullshit. I mean, they eventually got over it, and now, I mean, they're better Tekken players, and I like it, but it took a long time for them to get over it. And that is the exact same fucking mentality that I do not want to keep happening with Tekken, and I see it happening fucking right now. Because you got a guy who sees Tekken one way. He doesn't see it like the real Tekken players. And you got... Bandai, what are you fucking thinking? I mean, my God, I love y'all, but what are you fucking thinking nerfing somebody like Devil Jin? There's one Devil Jin player. I don't even play Devil Jin. I'm not a big Devil Jin fan. He's the only machine that I don't play. I play Hiachi, I play Kazuya, I play Jin, but I find Devil Jin clunky. I mean, maybe it's subconscious because I'm a Christian, might have something to do with it, but I mean, I don't have any taste for him. But I don't give a fuck. I don't care if somebody uses Devil Jin, but you nerf him for no fucking reason. There is one Devil Jin player. One consistent Devil Jin player. He isn't all over the place. He isn't that popular of a character, and there's one, and you nerf him. Kudance is the only one. 2 years ago, he's the world fucking champ. Last year, he's second place. He could have been the world champ twice. And you frustrate him and you piss him off. And one fucking brat who sits on his couch is appeased by this. That is idiotic. That doesn't make any sense. Now, Devil Jin's going to be fine. Jin's going to be fine. I mean, I'm not saying this. I don't want people like Kazuya nerfs because he's my main. It's this mentality that I want gone because it is dangerous, it is damaging to the game. Because you got one character is hard enough to learn, and then once you learn it, you have to learn all the matchups. And then once you learn all the matchups, you have to become good. And then after that, it comes down to the mind game, because all Tekken is chess. And Tekken is a chessboard, and it has nothing to do with the characters. It's always going to be fundamentals between the mind game of each player. It has nothing to do with the characters, but they're so hard to do. And then somebody like Kudance comes along, and he puts all this effort and all these years into it, and he doesn't complain, and he doesn't say anything, and then one dipshit is talking about, then a handful of people are talking about tier lists, and let's nerf him. You're not nerfing the character, you're trying to nerf the player, and that's bad for Tekken, because what happens when people start getting better? When they start getting good, and these little fucking bottom feeders see this shit, and instead of thinking that they're not elevating themselves to be good enough, they're thinking, oh, it's because of his character, let's nerf his character. And all you're doing is frustrating the good ones who are not saying anything. This is bad. So, and plus, and I want to do this for the good of Tekken, and I'm not here to freaking bash the main man, because I want the best for him and his family. But the thing is, Adrian, if you're watching this, you are on the wrong path. You are going down a dark road that, dude, you're going to be exiled. If you keep going down this road, you're going to be exiled. You're going to be the butt end of a bunch of jokes. It's already starting to happen. You just look in your comments, and it's starting to happen.
How would you nerf Geese to make him less tournament viable? Oh shit. Did he get shot, or was that someone else? I was about to set that guy up to get shot. If you want questions like that answered, go follow Main Man, bro. How many hot dogs can you fit in your mouth? Now that's the type of question we welcome around here. Someone shoot that guy, and won. But that was a welcomed question. You won't be seeing the main man answering hot dog in your mouth related questions. Hell no. That's serious business to him.
Gets beat by a Jin player, screams for nerfs. I see a post on him saying top Steve player Kazuya is helpless, and these are the two characters he's screaming for nerfs. I mean, what happens now that Kazuya's buffs, and what happens when you start losing? What are you going to do then when people are still beating you with fundamentals? You going to say they weren't nerfed hard enough, and you're going to keep doing this toxic mentality? Because all it is validating the shitheads who fucking suck. Now, Tekken's becoming more and more popular. You're going to get shitheads, but do not validate them with this stuff. That's what you want to avoid, is validating fucking shitheads and pissing off the people who are good. And like this. Okay, so do you think, like, let's say Knee and Ash play each other using the same characters, and Ash hasn't had a chance to adapt to the changes or the nerfs to his character, and Knee, you know, uses the buffs to Kazuya, and they play and Knee wins because of that. Do you think you're doing Knee a favor because of that? You think he's going to appreciate that? What does Knee say about Ash?
So, alright, I want to speak about Aris and Ash because I know that you've been able to beat him. He's been getting the better of a lot of people. What's your thoughts on Aris and Ash and the Pakistani community as a whole? Because they wasn't being thought about before, but now, you know, Aris and Ash has come out. You know, Chikrin went over there and played the players as well. They're building up quite a buzz. So what do you think of Aris and Ash and Pakistani community as Tekken players?
예전에는 이제 파키스탄이라는 나라가 사실 철권에서는 전혀 알려지지 않았던 나라인데 이제 철권 7에서 갑자기 이 사람들의 철권이 엄청 강하다는 게 알려졌고, 그리고 저도 이제 처음 아슬란이랑 붙어봤을 때 너무 신선한 충격 같은 걸 받았거든요. 그래서 이제 많은 패배를 당했고, 근데 이제 저는 아슬란이랑 하면서 뭔가 제 자신의 철권 실력도 좀 향상됐다고 생각하거든요. 왜냐면 많은 이제 한국 사람들이 무릎이 저번에 일본에 가서 아슬란이랑 붙어보더니 좀 올라간 것 같다, 실력이. 그런 얘기를 했기 때문에 저는 사실 아슬란한테 좀 고마워하는 점도 있어요. 그리고 파키스탄 같은 경우는 한번 거기 가서 같이 한번 게임해보고 싶다는 생각이 들 정도로 좀 궁금하고, 저는 뭐 그 파키스탄이라는 나라가 이제 세계적으로 갑자기 탁 나타나서 좀 철권판으로 보면은 좋은 게.
Now people like Lil Majin do not take his. Dude, you're the people champions. The reason that your match with JD Sugar was so fucking epic is because you took him down when he was at his strongest. When his character, him and his character were at his strongest. That's what made that so fucking epic. Now, you were talking shit about Dr. Young character getting nerfed, which is kind of tasteless, man. Dude, come on, you're the people's champs. Do not follow the main man's example. It's a bad example. But now that you're talking about his character is a little bit nerfed and yours got buffed, are you really going to have any satisfaction if you beat him because of that? Wouldn't it have been more satisfactory to have your strongest king against his strongest Jin? Jin's fine. He's going to be fine. I'm not saying that he isn't, but the things that happened to him were bullshit. You're laughing about it, but dude, come on. I mean, the buffs didn't help you in this past tournament. I'm serious, dude. You're a cool dude, you're people's champ, but we both fucking play Tekken, man. Alright, and now the biggest reason I'm doing this is to help the Tekken community. And I also want to help Adrian, I want the best for you. I want the best for you and your family. I want the best for the game because I know you love the game and you try to present good stuff. But I'm also warning you beforehand, if you keep going down this path, it's not going to end well for you or the game or the community. But the reason I'm doing this is anybody wants to take this. I don't have like a capture card or anything like that. I just play with my friends on the weekend. I mean, once a week. Doesn't even have to be the weekend. We just do it once a week. So I'm not a YouTuber for Tekken. This is probably the only Tekken video I'll do because I want to use my channel for other things. But so anybody else who wants to remake this information, make it better, tweak it, spread it, I don't care. I want this information to get to the people who are in charge, the important people. And the message I would have for Harada, dude, your freaking attitude of don't ask me for shit is the best fucking thing that's ever happened to Tekken. Don't ever fucking lose it. Don't ever sell this to anybody else. This is your baby. Keep it and keep telling people don't ask me for shit. I love how you guys try things. If it works, you keep it. If it doesn't, you fucking trash it. But get the game the way you want it. Stop listening to these fucking retards. And then continue to tell people don't ask me for shit. You don't owe us anything. Nobody wants a Tekken 8. You don't have to fucking do a Tekken 8. You don't have to do a character every fucking year for EVO. We don't need that. Tekken 7 is great. It's just a chess set. And eventually you could be like, you know what? Fuck you. Don't ask me for shit. Because it's not about the game, the character, the new stages and stuff like that. That stuff's cool. I mean, you already gave us Tekken 8 with all these new freaking moves. That shit was boss. But don't listen to these bottom feeders that fucking nerf whole characters. If a move is out of control, you nerf the move, not the entire character. And then tell people, don't ask me for shit. Fuck off. You don't need it. The drama between the players is what makes Tekken so popular. And you having that attitude of don't ask me for shit is what makes this game great. It's going to keep making it great. Don't ever get rid of it. Now, for my wish list, you know, in a perfect world, I'd be like, give Jin back his shit. But y'all probably won't. He's going to be fine. But I do have a suggestion. His Zen 4, on a certain angle, gets a full juggle with Jin. Just make that to where it doesn't have to be an angle, and he gets a full juggle. It's a slow low. You can see it coming, and it's easily punishable as a hell sweep. Also for the wish list, if you're going to give Hiachi a while rising, Namco, for fuck's sake, make it at least be able to where people can actually juggle off of it without pulling their hair out and looking like me. I mean, it should crumple like his sidestepped 2-1 should. Dude, come on. It's a while rising Punisher. It's supposed to hurt. Make it to where, I mean, what was the point of giving him that when barely anybody could juggle off of it? I don't know why y'all... I don't use Miguel, but nerfing his Magic 4, that doesn't make any sense. Things like... I get nerfing Geese, but making every single one of his lows launch punishable except for his sidestep? That's excessive. And for fuck's sake, man, buff Lee. I mean, I don't use him, I don't care, but that... It's just a wish list. It's just a suggestion. That's what I'm saying. These are just little things, but yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's my message to Namco and Harada. My message to Adrian. Dude, I want the best for you and your family. Don't keep going down this road. You're the one who started this, and you are in law. This is the cross-examination. That's all this is. All right? My message to you is there's only one way to change for you. You have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have got to get the fuck off the couch. Go to tournaments. Find a place somewhere and then ask Tekken players to come. The ones around you will come. Get around Tekken players. They don't even have to be that good. They will get better, but you need to get around Tekken players. Get to tournaments. Get out there and get off the couch because the fucking online shit is toxic to you. You got to see what it's like to be around Tekken. You got a taste of that at Evo, and just start setting up a thing. It's new content for you. It will help you. But get off this fucking nerf bullshit and stop looking at the characters, because that's not it. You're never going to get any better like that. You need to get and talk to other Tekken players. Now, dude, I'd be cool to fucking talk with you, be friends with you, but I mean, if that's not what you want, I get it. I understand, but you need to fucking get around better Tekken players. That's all I'm saying. I mean, dude, don't be Larry the Cucumber.
Look, can it be?
Ice cream?
No, it's the Jelly Spotters, Bikini Bottom's premier jellyfish enthusiast club. And their leader, the coolest jellyfish enthusiast ever, Kevin the Sea Cucumber.
The main man.
Bamboo?
The main man.
Use composite materials in my net handle.
Composite materials.
Next question.
It's Harada. Harada.
Don't look at me. I was just in this for the fashion. It's hopeless. We're trapped. We're trapped. Help me, Mommy. Help me. I want my blankie. I want my blanket. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, SpongeBob. Did you get into that club?
Yeah, but I turned him down.
It's me.
It's not about Kevin. It's about jellyfish.
SpongeBob, I'm glad you learned your lesson.
And that's me. It's not about the main man or anybody else. It's about Tekken. Actually, after 10 years of watching the dude, I unsubscribed to him. Now I subscribe to Boba. I mean, no offense against age or anything like that. I just don't want to be around that stupid type of fucking mindset where everybody thinks it's about characters, because it's not about characters. It's about the players. And I mean, tier lists are just a matter of opinion. It's bullshit. Every single character in the game has a low parry, high, medium, low. Everybody has a sidestep. Everybody has the tools to deal with every single move in the game, because every single move in the game has a weakness. That's what makes Tekken so balanced, and that's what it's about. And the reason that you see a bunch of characters at the top all the time is because you keep seeing the same players at the top all the time, and they're taking their favorite characters with them. It has nothing to do with tier lists. You can't nerf a player, and that's what people are trying to do, and I just want nothing to do with that kind of stupid fucking nonsense. But in summary, like, if a move is broken, nerf the move, not the entire character. If a move is strong, that is not basis to nerf the move. And if a character is well-rounded, that's not basis to fucking nerf them. Because if Namco, you keep doing that, you're going to have a watered-down, mediocre game, and it's going to feel like Tekken turns into fucking Smash Brothers. And nobody wants that shit. Namco, the truth is, you can't please everybody. But if you're going to make a choice of who to please the guys who don't complain about anything, who are really good at Tekken, who are always in the top 8. You don't hear them complaining. I mean, make them happy. Don't make little fucking stupid-ass trolls, stoners who can't get good as these other people and think it's about characters. I mean, you don't have to do shit for them. Harada, what happened when everybody was asking for nerfs for Akuma? What did you do? You basically said, fuck you, I'm not nerfing him. And what did everybody do? They were like, okay. I mean, you can do that. It's your fucking game. But, I mean, let's get past all this stupid fucking nerfing bullshit. It's irritating. And here's the crazy thing, is I've played Kazuya now, and nothing's really changed about him. His combo damage is better, and that's about it. But the character hasn't changed. Like, if I was going to do a video of how to buff Kazuya, I would have done something like his 1-2-3 combo, having the option to go 2-3, so it goes high-low, or his 1-2-3 1-2-3-4 combo, And also adding his 1, 2, 3, 4 combo, you could go 1, 2, 4 and skip the 3, so it's a low-high mix-up, and then make his down forward 1, 13 frames, something like that. Those little changes would have been fucking huge for Kazuya. Those are the kind of things I would have asked for. And not nerf Jin, fucking moves that he's had for 10 years, and then some little guy who sits on his couch who isn't even good with him, who struggles with him in ranked battle, who can't get him to Tekken God Prime to get all his other characters up there. And a character who hasn't won a tournament this year, who's rarely in top 8, who's also a popular character. I mean, and then nerf him to appease like these kind of people. That's stupid. But Jin's fine. He's awesome. All his moves still hit, and I've had a lot of fun when I'm playing Jin and the character's backs to the wall. That's been fun. But yeah, I'm going to go back to playing my friends once a week. We did Tekken night already this week. We'll be doing it again next week. And I'm going to link all the videos I used in this one in the description. And when you leave a comment in those videos so the word gets out so everybody knows you saw this video. Any other YouTubers who want to like maybe take this information and remake the video, or you just want to keep sharing this video, just take it, get it out, get the information out, get it to the right people. I don't even give a fuck if anybody watches this video or not. I just wanted to get this shit off my chest. So, yeah. Is that everything? I think that's everything. So, fuck you, you bunch of dumbass stoners.
Yeah. Yesterday I met the maker, rolling up all this paper, told my man I'll see you later. Roll up in my goofy pants, got my groovy bands on, go for Daylands Armstrong, right ahead like every song.